why did I create this? First and foremost, to validate and elevate my own experience. I created this practice and this body of work for me to relate to myself and my loved ones, my family, to my work in the world, at new levels that I hadn't yet experienced and that I am now experiencing. And so I'm sharing it because I would love for you to have that opportunity, that sense of spaciousness and security that I've been experiencing, to access these benefits both personally and professionally. This came about because even though I've dedicated the past 10 years to self-evolution and understanding the unconscious and the conscious and exploring spirituality, and I was still having meltdowns. And I still noticed that I had shame and guilt and fear and judgment around that. So DCFO has come from asking the question, like, how can I be compassionate about these experiences that I'm having? And not just try to get rid of the meltdowns, but really evolve my experience within what's going on during a meltdown so that I'm honoring where it's coming from and the potential within that highly charged sensational experience of self, or of the meeting ground of the functional everyday self and the infinite universal self. So I created this to explore and acknowledge that meeting ground, which has been so nourishing for me as a neurodivergent person. And I was able to make this because I have teased out the damaging and abusive entanglements in my life. I've really transformed situations that were violent and destructive and disrespectful for me to be participating in. And I'm living in a reality where meltdowns and shutdowns and breakdowns just are not happening in the way that they used to. And I even dare to say are being eliminated from my life, where trauma and dysfunction is being dissolved from my system and from my daily life. And so not only am I not living in that continuous state of carrying trauma and dysfunction, I'm also not perpetuating it anymore. I want that for everyone as individuals, for families, for communities, and for the collective. Really informed DCFO in the past year of turning it into language, into this 4-word language. A psychiatrist said to me, your psyche is made of thin glass, where a neurotypical's is made of thick glass. And this question started resonating inside of me. How can I become light enough in body, mind, in my experience of daily life, where I am not continuously shattering that thin glass psyche, which is what's happening when we're having meltdowns. Our sense of self is being shattered. And that's why it's so important for that meeting ground of the finite daily self with the infinite never-ending self. And we're going to dive into this more. And DCFO will help you to understand in both verbal and nonverbal ways. That is why I wanted to make this as an offering, because I find myself able now to communicate more in ways that respect the verbal and the nonverbal at the same time, or simultaneously, or in ways that feed and play off of each other well, that are translating to transformation in my personal life and the lives of the people that I'm working with. So I made this because I have a fascination with shadow work, with making the unconscious conscious, with aligning the conscious and unconscious will. I am a certified practitioner of existential kink, and so I want to put those skills to work for people like me, for families like mine. And I'm also a Kundalini Gold Reiki master. It's important to me to share the simple basic everyday ways that we can heal ourselves in our ongoing experience, where we don't have to let things build up and then attend to them, where each of us, no matter our neurotype, can come into our natural capacity to be with, to be present, and where it's actually an experience of ease rather than force or trying. So that's what I'm welcoming you into here. It's what I'm passionate about. It is my special interest, and I'm so glad to share it with you. It is my honor to be neurodivergent, to be autistic, to be ADD, or whatever other labels fit me in any given moment. It is my honor to experience them and explore them, and then experiment with translating those experiences in nonverbal and verbal ways to connect with others and to support and be in service. Thank you for being here.